Hi, welcome to the Barely Making It podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Bree.
I'm Liz.
And thank you so much for coming to listen to our podcast today. Liz, how are you doing?
Are you
good?
Great. I am great. Life is great. I have no complaints. Truly blessed, honestly. Loved. I'm doing a podcast with my best friend. What is there to complain about? When you think about it, there is nothing to complain about.
Literally, that's kind of pretty much how I feel. It's been a great day. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here and talk.
We do love a chat. We do love a little, I can't think of the word, but we do love that.
We are D1 yappers. D1 yappers.
Before it was even a term.
Literally, we used to get on the phone at 6 o'clock in the morning and we would talk until about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, we didn't have class, we didn't have work, we didn't have anything.
It was our job. I had a job, but we was
job. 2 full-time jobs, working and talking.
So as far as peaks and picks, what was your peaks this week?
My peak would definitely be this book that I read a few months ago. There's a sequel to it that came out. So if you guys have read The Perfect Marriage, I think it's by Geneva Rose. The sequel to it, The Perfect Divorce, just came out. If you read The Perfect Marriage, the plot twist at the end is crazy. So I cannot wait to see what happens in The Perfect Divorce. Or I guess read what happens in The Perfect Divorce. What's your peak?
Now that you mentioned that, in addition to books, me and my cousins, we had a book club before, but we restarted our book club, so we're going to be doing our weekly book club. We're going to read The Silent Patient this time. Have I started reading it? No. I have to have 70 pages read by Sunday. So, it's a quick book. It's a quick
Wednesday.
Book. Okay.
It's Wednesday.
We just established it on yesterday. I know.
Time is a ticking, ma'am.
But it's a good week. As far as, pits go, in addition, in respect to our topic today, spit it out, girl. It's okay. Take your time. In respect to our topic today, work. I work a lot this week. I work overtime this week. So, blessed to have a job. Tired of having to have a job, but blessed nonetheless.
I would say for my pit, I don't think I have one. I feel like it's a great week this week. I'm going to the aquarium on Friday. So, I feel like I'm about to have, the best time.
We love to see it. Honestly, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Our topic today has to do with work culture, grind culture, the job market, things of such nature.
Yes, so we're going to be talking about grind culture and job shaming. If you are an adult living life in the United States, you know that it is very hard to find work right now. It seems like all these jobs are posting applications, but none of them are hiring. So it's not making a lot of sense to me. I also feel like working these days means that you have to do the job of 2 people, but you're not getting the pay of 2 people. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I know we talked about the other day how they're making 3 people do the job of 9 people. Everybody's getting laid off. They could be with the company for years and years. They could have really well invested ties with these companies, and they're just letting these people go because they don't have the money to pay these people. People are not making money. Money is really not making the world go round right now. And it's sad. It's sad because you and I have both discussed, in our previous experiences with our current jobs and past jobs, that they've done the same thing. They will cut back on people, make us do triple times the amount of work we would normally have to do, but they don't want to give you pay. They don't want to give you benefits for that. They just want to overwork you, and because you need this job and you have bills, you have to do it. So
yeah, it's crazy. I literally remember I worked somewhere 5 or so years ago, and I remember when we started, the staff was humongous, but as the years go on and people leave and people quit, they feel like there's no need to replace that person. So instead of replacing that person, they give you the assignment to do part of their job. So it's everybody basically almost gets 25% of their job to make up for one person not being there. And then it's they don't understand why morale is down, why people don't want to come to work, why nobody wants to be there, why everybody's always angry. And it's just I'm doing double the work again with no extra pay. It doesn't make sense. My role doesn't match my pay, and I'm not happy.
Well, I think what you said, they don't even care about the morale. They don't care about keeping. I think a lot of people. Okay, how you said they're not really caring to replace people. I think they treat everybody as if they're replaceable. in the same breath, like, you can be replaced. Like, you really don't matter here with the same piling this work upon people and just expecting them to do it. I think one of my favorite things to tell people at work is it's easy for you to say when you're not the person at the job. Like, it's easy for higher up people to say what you can do, what you can't do, what should be done when you're not the person having to do that on a daily basis, when you're not around the environment, when you're not having to go through those circumstances. It's easy for you to have that opinion. But until you're physically working in the same position, and at least for a week, I say do at least for a week. And if you can do it, okay. But otherwise...
I literally remember a time when I was getting assigned double work because, like, without giving too much away, I used to work in, like, a banking industry, and so I had to do one role that I applied to do and also do a second role within that role. But the second role ended up taking over my first role, and then I was also, like, second in command. So, like, when my manager wasn't there, I was supposed to be in charge, but it ended up being, like, whatever she didn't want to do, I had to take over. And it's like, that's not my job. That's not what I get paid to do. And then I was told that I don't do anything outside of my scope. But I don't get paid to do this. I don't want to do the secondary job in, like, the first place. And it's taken away from my primary job. And then y'all are looking at me. And then the higher ups are like, well, this is so easy. Just do. Like, I wish they could come sit in, like, the workplace for a day and see
It's
what
always
you're asking people to do. So that way, when you realize that you can't do it, I shouldn't have to do it.
They would also, and I guess for your specific position, because I'm your friend, so I would be aware, they would also kind of talk to you crazy or treat you crazy, and they still expect you to do everything they said to do with a smile, like, with a happy face about it. Like, you didn't just insult me and my work ethic because I didn't do the one out of 50 million tasks you asked me to do.
I would literally get cussed out, where, like, I had to go to the bathroom because I was crying. And I would be told to, like, smile and be nice and be great for the rest of the day. And I'm just like, I want to go home.
Like, yesterday. Like, quickly.
Quite literally. And it's just like, I don't know. People just don't understand. And I wish that they would just have a little more compassion to people who are, like, actually working the front line. Because, like, y'all don't have to do this on the daily. It's so easy for y'all to say that I can be nice, I can let it go, because you don't have to do it. I do.
You don't.
And then it's like, I have to take the mental load home. Like, there have been times when I go home, I take my clothes off, I go to bed, and I don't wake up till the next morning. Mind you, I have things to do, things to clean, a dog to take care of, and, like, it's so mentally taxing sometimes at work that, like, you just go home and you can't, because, like, there's so many positions that could be filled, but y'all are choosing to just work with, like, a skeleton staff. I don't understand.
It's because they don't want to have to pay those people. And I guess for somebody in my position, because my company has, the company I work for has been bought out several times. They don't even offer the position that I work for anymore. They changed the name completely. They changed the pay completely. I'm the only person in this state that gets paid what I get paid for my job. So they don't even, like my managers, my higher up managers have told me they don't even hire people for this position anymore. And if they do, it's only like $1 more from the position below them. So it's like, it's not even worth the workload. It's not even worth the workload to even offer the position out. But I make, like, twice what they're supposed to make. So it's like, I try to be grateful about that, because I do make what some would call good money, but it's like, maybe not for the area I live in. Yeah. Maybe not for, it's just a lot of factors. And it's not, I'm not somebody who spends, like, crazy amounts of money. But I've talked to you about it several times. There are points where I feel like I might need a second job or a third job just to make sure that I'm okay, because you just don't know. Like, especially the way things are now, anything could happen at any time. You just have to be ready. So,
I'm uncomfortable.
Okay,
My leg hurts.
Okay,
My leg hurts. My legs hurt. I'm sitting in a new spot today. I'm just not comfortable.
But say all that to say, and this is coming from two people who are in a group chat every day from, like, 2018, 2019 era, maybe even 2020. Wake up every morning, early in the morning. Let's wake up and get this bread. That's what the fuck is wrong?
That's what I used to do when I would, like, say it. I'd be like, let's go get this money.
Every day, just wake up, let's go get this bread. Grind culture is insane. It's insane. And I'm not saying you shouldn't work hard or you shouldn't want to work hard, because you should want to do those things, especially if you want to create a certain type of life for yourself. There is nothing wrong with working hard. There's nothing wrong with hard work. And I think a lot of times we do have a lot of lazy people. However, I think it's a bit oversaturated. I don't think you should have to kill yourself for a check. It shouldn't be like, you need to do it for the money, do it for the money. You're literally on your last leg, can't breathe, but you need to do it for the money. Like, that's where the problem comes in.
I agree. I feel like personally,
it's okay, words hurt.
They hurt. I feel like I have to work 2 jobs just to be able to save and like do the things that I want and like achieve the goals that I have. I feel like sometimes I don't know if my goals are unattainable or if like I probably do spend too much, but like I feel like I just spend on like normal things. And I know like the prices of things are going up, but I'm just like, where does my check go?
Well, I'm trying to take my personal bias because we know each other in real life aside. For the most part, you're buying like groceries, you're buying things you actually physically need, you're paying your bills, and then it's like the money you have left over for leisure. It's like you don't even have that. Like, you kind of got to choose between saving and leisure a lot of the time. And it's like, yes, have a savings.
I always on the ring light, it doesn't work. Like,
insert clip of the ring light falling at the beginning of this video.
No, when we first started this intro, the ring light fell in my lap as I was talking, so we had to re-record the intro. So there goes my money that I spent on that. Thank God it wasn't a lot.
But that's the thing too, like, even if, okay, so say if you're doing these little splurges on yourself, like, everything costs now, like, costs dramatically. I know people always talk about it, but the eggs are literally $8 for 12 eggs, y'all. Like, y'all are not thinking about this. These eggs is $8, and I don't even eat eggs like that.
I haven't had a proper breakfast in months.
Like, and that's the thing too, like, how I know you're saving more money if you cook at home. You certainly are. But even then, you're still spending that money to cook at home because these groceries are not cheap. I didn't even realize, maybe because I don't buy a lot of ginger. Ginger is not cheap. I would think ginger should be a couple dollars. No, it is not.
It's like
no, it is not.
Like, it's
for
this
one
much ginger.
For one ginger root.
It's the size of a keyboard mouse. Why is it $5 if it's just gonna go in and go right back out? I don't understand. Literally. It is
like,
gonna go out in like 20 minutes.
Even with clothes, like with fast fashion, which you would think would be cheap, I'm trying to tell you right now, you go on Temu and Shein, it's not what you think it is anymore. Like, these things cost. You are better off buying those products, like the clothing, the articles of clothing with longevity, because it's just, you're gonna wash the clothes 3 times and they're gonna be bad. So it's hard.
I bought a jumpsuit off of Fashion Nova. Before the coupon, it was like $40. After the coupon, it was $28.99. And if I wash it one time, it's going to be useless. So it's just like, my brain hurts.
It's hard. I don't even, it's hard. Like, this shit does cost. It does cost.
It costs to live like this.
For something that's supposed to close, it's like, well. You don't even have to overspend, and that's the problem. To bring it back to what we were talking about, like, you're not getting paid a lot to even have these luxuries, to have these little leisure things that make you happy. So it's like, I see why people do like little things, like buy little knickknacks and stuff that make them happy, because it's like, gosh, you gotta have some happiness with this. You gotta have some peace in this, because it's hard. Literally,
I just pray and I buy a knickknack. Like, I don't understand. Where is the money?
Don't let me get in the Five Below. Like, don't let them. They hate to see me coming. Are you about to pull up a cup? Okay. This is so fun today. We're in such great spirits. But grind culture is, like, I feel like people need to read the room a little bit. Yes, work hard, do what you need to do. Do not kill yourself for these companies, and because they really will replace you. The day you die, your job will be on Indeed tomorrow. Like, it's the harsh reality of things. The world does not stop. Unless you're me. The world does not stop. But it's unfortunate.
Okay, just the exception to the rule. Okay.
There's
a whole new staff at your old job that begs to differ, but okay.
There is.
Yeah. I went in there, I was like, I'm leaving.
And look how they're doing.
Horrible. Well, they're funny. I got
free
stuff when I went in there the last time.
As you know, it's hard to carry a job on your back. It really is. You always see these memes about, like, oh, I just became good at my job. It's really sad. Do not become good at your job. It's like, just do enough, because the second you become great, You're the most necessary asset.
I literally had multiple people at my job come up to me and tell me that like they could go and find the answer by themselves, but because I knew the answer and they know that I know the answer, that they just came to me all the time and would like disrupt me. And it's like, okay, like I understand doing that sometimes out of convenience, but at the same time, like I don't mind sharing my knowledge, but don't like take advantage of it. Like you're making my job harder, and then the more I know, the more responsibility that I got. So like the last 2 years of me working where I worked before, I feel like I didn't know anything. I'm like, I don't know. We should probably
You do gotta not know. I don't. It's hard. It's also a difficult job market. Like if you have a job, your best bet is truly keeping that job. Like if you're somebody who normally job hops and you can find a job, I think right now the best thing for you is probably food wise, because like they're always hiring and they've always been that way.
But they're really hiring too.
Yeah, they actually are. Depending on what position, what money you want, what positions you want. Yeah. The thing is, like, I've always been told that even before now, like, never quit a job without having another one, because you just never know what could happen, and you truly don't. You don't know what could happen, because yes, everybody's hiring, but are they hiring you? You could have all the you could be overly qualified and they won't hire you, because that happened at my job before. Like, if somebody has certain qualifications, they won't hire you because they feel like you're too good for this job, which sounds crazy, but you know, I know people with multiple degrees, whether you have a bachelor's, master's, with certificates, all these different things, and they feel like they spend all this money in school, and there's nothing wrong with education, especially if you're a minority, especially if you're black. Get that education, you know, you do have to do twice the work, triple the work. But it's hard because you could have all that and there's no guarantee, and I think that's the problem with a lot of these things. You spend these thousands of dollars, you're going in debt right now, trying to just get this education, to get whatever job, and it could be your dream job you wanted your whole life. You can't get it, and that's across the board. That's whether you work in food industry, that's whether you work in the education system, that's whether they're hiring doctors and nurses still, and they're still not hiring doctors and nurses at the same breath. Like, they need help, and they're still not hiring people. So it's just, it's hard.
It's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's really hard. And then it's just like, I feel like now too, like in to go along with like job switching, I feel like now it's kind of scary to switch jobs, because it's just like you really don't know what you're getting into. The way that they pay now is so just weird. It's just like there's so many fields out there, and like you kind of have like job security in the places that you are now, especially if you've been there for like at least longer than 2 years. It's really scary to like move into different industries or just switch jobs in general right now, because you just don't know what could happen.
I think that's something you've also gone through, like within the past few months, is just you really were excited about a new job after leaving your job that was stressing you out, which is fine. I'm all for people getting to a new job, especially if your other one is stressing you out as the way it was stressing you out. But it was also scary for you, because it's like, this is something it might be annoying, it might be the worst thing for me right now, but it's something I know, it's something I'm comfortable with, it's something that has provided me safety and security, versus I don't know nothing about this new thing, and it might be great for me, it might be the most beneficial thing ever, but it's still scary, it's still new, it's still different, because you don't know, because you haven't been here, you haven't experienced this. But I think you have to be okay with difference and changes. When I started my second job, I called you in the bathroom crying because I was so terrified and I didn't know what I was going to do when you were like, it's this first day. Just anxiety. I think a lot of us have anxiety post-COVID, and I don't think people like to talk about it. I think a lot of us have really bad anxiety and we don't know how to interact with each other. It's different. It's hard. And I don't think it helps with these difficult job markets, because it's just, you're always treated like you're replaceable. Yes, you can be replaced. Yes, somebody else could do the job, but it's like, why not value the people at these jobs? If you value these people and treat these people like you cared and respected them, I don't think we would have such high turnover, because layoffs aside, people getting fired aside, people are quitting because they're not being valued at all. Like, they're just looked at as an asset to the job.
Yes, like, I feel like it was so normal. Like, I won't even say back in the day, because it wasn't that long ago. Like, the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like, you have people, and it still happens, like, for some people that are, like, retiring from these jobs. Like, at my last job, there is a lady there who had worked there since she was 18, and she retired there. But it's just like, it's not a lot of places that value people to the point where you want to stay there until you retire. They're changing so many things to just be like trendy and keep up with the culture. But I feel like a lot of jobs, they lose their employees and they lose their customer base by not sticking to the company culture that brought people there in the first place.
Oh yeah,
And
and I
even-
understand. You remember at the beginning of 2020, I believe it was, where all those CEOs had stepped down out of nowhere, and all these companies are getting bought out. Because I feel like they knew, obviously, they knew stuff that we didn't. Because looking back now, looking at this job market now, like this is crazy. These companies aren't even owned by the same people they were owned by before. It is just all like even with my apartment complex that I live in, they've been bought out several times since we've only been here a year. They've been bought out at least like 5 times.
My apartment complex got bought out last year as well, and then the place I lived before that got bought out right before I left. So it's just like, I don't know, like, how to even explain what it is, but it's just like, you want to merge so many things. Everybody wants to acquire. It's like a monopoly. That's the word. It's a monopoly. Because I feel like it's the same companies that are buying all of these things.
They are with different names. They put a different name on it.
Yeah, but it's still on, like, apartments, since that's what we're on the topic of. Like, I'm touring apartments right now. And so I will go to one apartment complex, and then I can see that the property is managed by so and so, and I'm like, how do you have this many properties here? Because y'all weren't around here like a couple years ago. It's crazy how much is getting acquired. But I mean, it's like the monopoly that everyone has been telling me about since like I was young, and it's something that I learned about. I don't know if I told y'all, but my degree that I'm studying for is in accounting, so this is something that I learned.
She's a
And
nerd.
it's weird to see. I am a nerd, but it's weird to see it playing out because I didn't understand it at first at all.
Sorry, I was having a thought. I got zoned out in my thought. Because this is a really interesting topic. I didn't think we were going to be this enthralled with it.
Me either.
I know that you had brought this up to me the other day. You had saw a video about a woman who applied to like thousands of jobs, and she only had 4 interviews. She turned down one of them because she didn't have the gas to get there.
Yeah, I wish I could find the video, but she said she had applied for close to 1,000 jobs. How true or untrue that is, I will not comment on.
Even if it's exaggerated, like you can apply for a good 100 jobs like in a week span. You really can. As somebody who's done it, you really can.
I'll even say, like, I don't like to apply to a lot of jobs because there's not, like, in my opinion, there's not a lot of jobs in my field that I'm qualified to do right now, but I will say that I've had the privilege of working in my field since I've figured out what I wanted my degree to be in. But when I was looking for, like, other jobs, I only applied to maybe 4, and, like, 3 of them didn't even, like, look at my application. So, and this job was off of a referral, so...
I've heard also like a lot of jobs have like AI checking their resumes over, and so if it doesn't say certain things, they automatically just throw your resume out. They automatically decline you. Like they're not even physically looking at it.
Yeah, and like I mean, not to like brag, but I have a good resume. So I was just like, what's going on here? Like it's not even being looked at.
Not to eat my own ass or anything, but you know I am qualified a little bit. Like,
I am like, I was like, what's going on?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, she had been applying for like a lot of jobs. She only got like 4 that wanted to even interview her, and then one of them she couldn't go to because like it was like an hour away, I think she said, and she wasn't able to make it there and back She wasn't able to make it there and back.
I didn't know she was gonna make that noise. I'm sorry.
Is in the building, but she didn't know she was gonna be able to make it there and back. Well, she knew she wasn't going to be able to make it there and back without running out of gas, and it's just like she doesn't have a job, so she doesn't have money. So
you know, like what's like a little tone deaf. Like if somebody is talking about like if somebody makes, because there's a lot of people making GoFundMe's or posting their cash apps and things like that. And people like just get a job. Have you seen how hard it is to get a paying job that's going to pay you to functionally live your life wherever you live at? Because everywhere is high. Like, I know certain places, like if you live in a major city, I live in a major city, it is more expensive here than it would be to move back home, but even back home is expensive for it to be back home. So it's like you have to...
I live at home where she's talking about, and it's very expensive.
It's crazy. It's crazy what you're paying for what you're getting. To put this into perspective, my apartment is like 1,095 square feet, I want to say it's around there. We pay almost $1,700 for rent. Like, to put that into perspective, people are like, okay, well, you might as well move into a house. We looked at houses. The houses here, they have like super small bedrooms. Like, your apartment's borderline bigger than the house. So it's just hard. It's hard because you have to have certain requirements for things you like, and I understand paying for things you like, but at what cost? What happened to the $500 rent? You know, like when I became an adult, it's crazy how all this is double, almost triple what it was or what it would be. It's hard.
So I moved out when I was 22, and rent was like between $950 to $1,200. Now, rent starts at $1,200.
Oh yeah,
And
I tell people all the time.
I'm like, because mind you, I'm looking at like everything. Because the apartment of my dreams, I don't know. I kind of want a house one day, so I'm probably not going to get the apartment of my dreams. However, like something close to it, it's so expensive. And it's just like, for where I live, like she know where I live because we're from the same hometown. But it's just like, from where
It is
I
crazy.
live.
It's crazy.
And
You want me
then
to
it's
pay
just
because I
like,
live next to a tobacco shop?
but that's the thing now. Everyone is making like these luxury apartments, and all you're doing is adding stainless steel appliances. Like, I'll take a black refrigerator.
Please, like the only thing that you are getting that's luxury is stainless steel and granite countertops. They're not real hardwood floors. They're vinyl flooring. These are like bare minimum requirements, by the way. And I'm not even
do
trying to
that
say that to be bougie. I'm not even saying it to be bougie. Most places have stainless steel right now, and that's fine, but that's not luxury. There is nothing luxurious about that because it's not a white refrigerator. I know Nene Leakes really took off with that, but I'll put wallpaper on the fridge if need be. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny about it. I will take, like you said, I'll take a black fridge. It's just, and then what? Because it looks better. That's all it is. It looks better. And then now everything is modern, so it's all grayscale. There's no color in anything anymore. It's boring. We need to just, you know what, we'll say this for another day because we could talk about the housing market and everything else on another day because whole separate topic that would take 10 years if we really sat here and talked about it. Like, it's really sick. It's really sick. It's really sad. These people try to get over you. They don't care about you. Another thing to have to do with money and the job you're making.
I'm telling you, if I knew life was going to be like this, I would have bought a house when I was 5.
I've been saving way different before I moved. Our position would have been way different.
I wouldn't have moved.
I would have just dealt with what I was dealing with. Now I'll never go back home. Yes, but
Now that I have like independence in a way that I've never had before, it's so different. It's so different.
Gosh, it's just. And this is coming from two people who do have secure positions in their job, who do get paid pretty decently compared to like average people. High quality job, low quality money. There's barely benefits with a lot of these jobs. I get benefits, like I'm offered health benefits through my job, and there's different levels of it, but you do have to work certain hours. You do have to have certain requirements to be eligible for those benefits. Like, you can't just come in, work part-time, and expect those benefits. And even then, I'm not going to sit here and act like they're the best benefits. Don't let it be dental insurance. I think dental insurance across the board is hard because you could have dental insurance, but your dental insurance could cover X amount, and you're still paying $100 before you leave. Insurance in America is a different topic for different days.
Yeah,
if you're not in the Americas, congrats.
That free healthcare look real good right now, don't it?
And then feeling like you have to work multiple jobs. I live with one of my other best friends. She has 2 jobs. And I know more people than not that work 2 jobs. Because you have to. You have to have multiple streams of income. And that's been a conversation, I think, for at least a couple years now, is to have that. And I get it. But it's just sad because that should be something, if you want to do it, like if I want extra leisure money, okay, you kind of have to. Like, even me, if my schedule wasn't so flippy-floppy, I would have 2 jobs.
I feel like I have to have 2 jobs just to like attain the goals that I have. I want to buy a house soon, but I feel like there's not enough money to put aside, like from checks alone, to like make that happen. Like, I have bills. I have a dog that also has to go to the vet and has a vet bill. His vet bill will be like half my rent sometimes.
And that aside, like, put your goals aside, like, even just try to have, like, to enjoy your human experience, to do leisure. Well, we're gonna go see Beyonce in July, right? So it's like, that costs. Like, that costs. Concerts cost, shows cost, going out the state cost. Like, that stuff costs. It's not a free thing.
We lucked up and we got some really good tickets, but they still,
not to brag or anything. You know, I'm just trying to brag or anything, but we will be wearing our cowgirl boots, like.
And will. But it's just like stuff like that. Like, I know it probably felt the same way for people who came before us, that like you had to do all these things. But I feel like now more than ever, just like in the day and age that we live in the economy that we're working with, like, you have to have multiple streams of income, or like you have to have a side hustle. Like, I do hair on the side. I used to do prom makeup on the side. Like, you have to have something else other than your job to like make ends meet sometimes.
And you'll drive to go do people's hair sometimes. Wow, it's kind of crazy to think about this. Something that me and you have talked about, people just don't want to work these days. Like, just
Miss Kimberly, she was right. Y'all don't want to admit it, but she was right.
She was right, but it's like the same thing we talked about in our last podcast. Great message, wrong messenger, but like...
Oh, yes. Because I was like, who are you talking to?
Just get off your fucking
Do you know
ass
how you
and
got
work.
famous? You were on your ass when you got famous.
Like, literally, not figuratively. That's crazy.
Like, don't talk to me.
Work
Who are
ethic,
you?
but she wasn't wrong though, because there is a lot of lazy people. I've encountered many lazy people, and don't get me wrong, I understand, because it's a thin line between don't overwork, these companies don't care about you, I get it, but if you go to a job, you apply to a job, you get a job, it is your job to do that job. Like, you are getting paid. Like, so if you're complaining about your pay, only pay me X, Y, and Z. Okay, you knew that applying, you knew that coming in, you knew that doing this job. I'm not saying you to overkill, but you knew your bare requirements for this job. It just is
They
what
tell
it
you
is.
the pay range.
They do, and you apply and you agree. When you agree to the job, you agree to these things. I can understand certain things. There are certain things I don't do at my job because I'm just not doing that. However, like, you got to be careful when it comes to a job that you apply for and to say, like, you're doing this, that, and the third. And then if they say something like other duties, you got to be ready for them other duties to be something that you might not want to do.
Yeah, you have to, like, define other duties, and then, like...
Ask these questions. As much as you're getting interviewed, interview back. Ask the questions.
At the end, when they say, do you have any questions for me? Yes, I have, like, 5, actually.
Yeah, have them written down.
And I
Like,
will
seriously.
say, when you interview to work at places, they love it when you ask them questions back. I feel like that's how I've gotten the majority of the jobs that I've gotten, because they're like, do you have any questions for me? I'm like, yes, actually, you said earlier. Can you explain
Yes,
that?
I tend to ask them about how they personally feel. Like, all of this aside, how do you personally feel working here? How long have you worked here? What has kept you here? What is your pros and cons about it? Like, you need to get their honesty just as much as they're expecting your honesty. Lie. I'm telling you to lie. But
I
Lie.
think, too, one of the greatest interview questions that you can ask somebody is, what are the challenges that you've seen people in this role before have that you, like, think that I can get ahead of, or that we can mitigate before, like, the problem even comes to us? That's one of my favorite questions to ask.
It depends on what job you're going for, but for the most part, you can definitely have certain set questions to ask. Definitely interview these people. Do not let these people get over on you, because, I mean, they're only going to tell you what you asked, or what you, like, the bare minimum of what you should know about a company. And that just kind of gives you a bit more security if you end up, because how do you, like, okay, in retrospect, when it comes to dating, right, you should want, like, don't ever worry about too much about if this person likes you. You need to worry about if you like this person, like, if this is what you want. Same thing with a job. Okay, I'm worried if they're gonna like me. Do I like this job? Do I want to work for this job? Do I want to work here just as much as do they want to work here? Do you need me more than I need you, type of thing? And more often than not, they do need you more. They're not gonna tell you that, but they do need you more.
And I will also say, when it comes to, like, applying to jobs and, like, looking for a job, like, yes, you have to be professional to a point, but don't be afraid to show who you really are, because at some point in your career there, it's going to come out who you really are and how you really act. So you might as well show them who you are now and not get the job, versus you get the job based on what they think you're going to be like and you're someone completely different. I've seen so many people who just didn't work out because, like, they said what they needed to say to get the job, but they couldn't actually do the job.
Yeah, so I know we just told you to lie, which I do agree with still, but
Lie to
don't
an
lie
extent,
to
yes.
yeah, lie to something you can actually do. Like, don't go applying to be a brain surgeon if you ain't never worked in the medical field. You know, like, let's not get crazy on the Christmas card here. Like, it's okay to exaggerate a bit, but
Say it like this. There's a girl that we used to be friends with who, when we were applying for jobs, she told us, like, if you were a dishwasher, you need to make it look like you were the best dishwasher ever,
Points.
like, in life, and that you were the
In every
only
detail.
person. And that you were the only person who could wash the dishes in the building. So I think you should take that standpoint, but, like, just be yourself, because you're gonna be yourself at that job at some point.
on your resume, like, you might be like, oh, well, I've only done this, or I've only done that, and you will only milk that. You need to milk that. Like, so if you worked, like, in food, you need to do every single detail that you've worked with. Whether you worked at a register, whether you've done dishes, whether you swept that floor, you need to make it seem differently. Like, I've worked in maintenance, and I'm pretty skilled in custodial work. Like, it's all about how you word things. It really is, because you can make it more than what it is without making yourself less than. At the end of the day, a job is a job. To bring in why people job shame, a job is a job at the end of the day. And people will job shame a job they couldn't even get on their best day. Don't let people discourage you for what you do. Yeah. Don't let people discourage you. You don't discourage you at all. Because it's a blessing to have a job right now. A consistent job. Something that helps you pay your bills, to help you maintain your lifestyle. Because we all got bills. We all got to work. We all got bills. Let me not say that.
We don't all gotta work, but we all got bills. But I feel like job shaming is something that it needs to just be like a little more touched on, because people will make fun of you for working at McDonald's, but like McDonald's still pays, and from what I hear, they pay kind of well. Like, I might go work at McDonald's. I'm not even gonna hold you, like on the weekends or something, because like I need more money. But like, people love to job shame, but it's also the same people who would never get behind the counter and work at McDonald's themselves. Like, y'all, the same things that y'all don't want to do, y'all go to people for this service. Like, who, realistically, there are definitely some people who, like, their aspirations in life are like to be a janitor or a plumber or like whatever other jobs that like people don't want to do. And like, you wouldn't want to do it, but you still, like, everyone is going to need their toilet fixed at some point.
Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah. Somebody has to do that job, or it's just not going to get done. So, like, don't shame people who work in industries that you could never see yourself working in, because you never know when you might have to. And, like, at the end of the day, they're here to provide you a service that nobody else would.
I think, hot take, job shaming is okay if you're in an argument. Oh,
yeah. I'm sorry.
About me.
There's a girl on TikTok, and this has nothing to do with jobs, but it has a lot to do with arguing. And she literally said, like, people can call me fat all you want. She's like, and when I argue, I used to call people fat. She's like, if you're 1 pound heavier than me, and I know that, like, you're fat. And, like, all bars off when we're arguing.
No, like, if we're in an argument, if I don't like you, I love the regular McDonald's worker. We're arguing, bitch, you work at McDonald's. Now, that's different, but job shaming off the whim just randomly, because, I mean, everybody, we all need these people. So, like, it is so remiss, and I was taught from a very young age to not even do that. Like, I was always taught to respect janitors, because without a janitor, the school wouldn't be clean, or the establishment wouldn't be clean. So why make fun of this person when you need this person? Because are you going to go do it? No, you're not. So it's just okay in arguments, not okay otherwise. It's easy for you to talk from a doctor's standpoint down on somebody who works in the education system, because they don't pay education. They do not pay teachers enough. It is so crazy to shame a teacher when you literally need them, because the kids are dumb. So it's just...
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the kids are dumb. The kids are morons. We need you. What?
We definitely do. And I feel like people who job shame don't understand that, like, it doesn't matter what field you're in, there's always going to be someone that hates their job. There are doctors that hate being doctors, and they went through the 12 years of training to be a doctor just to hate it. There are people in the finance world that went through all of this training and all of this schooling and all of this licensing to be a person who works in finance. They hate their jobs. There are people who work at McDonald's that didn't have to do anything. They hate their jobs. There are people, I'm sure there are, like, CEOs that hate their job. Everybody hates their job to some extent. So why knock somebody else's bug? Like,
I just feel like, in all honesty, worry about the job that pays you. Like, just worry about what you have to do for a living, because it's easy to shame somebody who works somewhere else. It's easy to shame a Walmart worker. You've been to Walmart. You shop at Walmart. What? Like, you got to think about it. Like, it's a little bit of a read the room type of thing.
Again,
unless, like I said, argument.
Unless we're arguing.
Yeah, all bets are off. I don't even care about anything in an argument. I'm gonna hurt you.
I will hurt you.
I sound like such a terrible person. I swear about it. I don't even argue that often.
You're saying what everybody's thinking.
I don't even argue that often.
I say,
and then it's easy to say that. It's okay. So say if you're somebody, right, like, you have a well-off job, like how we were talking about how people are just getting laid off left and right. Doesn't matter how loyal you've been to this company. You get laid off, you might got to be that McDonald's worker tomorrow. So, like, you have to stay humble. You really do.
Like, I strongly believe in, like, this staying humble thing, because I literally one time didn't even see it coming. I got fired from a job on my 21st birthday. Or was it my 20th?
She did.
My 20th
You know how hard it is to make somebody feel better on their 21st birthday when they get fired? You know how hard that is? It's hard. It's hard to not make them feel like they're like.
They had to buy me a pinata to make me feel better. Like,
we did buy you a pinata. Wait, hold on. It was on this day.
it was on that day. That is my date of birth. But they literally had to buy me a pinata to feel better.
Wow. Memories.
And
okay.
Such good memories. And that is just a testament to what I'm saying of like, you could have a job today, you cannot have a job tomorrow. Things change so quick, so very quickly. So you have to be, one, just grateful to have a job in general sometimes and know that this may not always last and that you may be in a position where you have to work a job that you don't want to work. I was thankfully blessed with the opportunity to work somewhere else a week later, but it's not the same for everybody. People are just doing what they have to do to survive, because at the end of the day, you gotta have money to put food on the table. You have to have money to do anything. You go outside, you breathe, it's an automatic 150. So like, you just let people live their life. Everybody is trying to get by, no matter what they do. You can sell drugs, you're trying to get by.
For the people that need jobs, because it's easy to say everybody needs jobs. For people that need jobs, we need jobs. We all need to be paid.
Everybody.
Oh, this is such a great topic. I love this.
It is. I can't believe we're already 46 minutes in. That's crazy.
It's a really interesting topic. And it is a hard job market. When it'll stop being that way, I don't know. It is who's to say that it would ever be, because we do have a lot of AI things, and AI are taking. I don't know if anybody's seen this. They really are taking people's jobs. Like, they really are. Like, they were worried about the immigrants. No, worry about the AI. And even that, with that being said, with all this immigration and deportation going on, are y'all out there, and it sounds so ignorant to say, but it's really not, are you out there picking the fruit? Are you the one doing it? Because a lot of these people were doing these jobs. A lot of these people were doing these hard labor jobs that you wouldn't even get off your ass to do.
So in North Carolina, I can't like speak on other states because I really don't know. But in North Carolina, there's a lot of blueberry farms. And one of the biggest concerns this year, especially with everything that's going on, is like, who's gonna pick the blueberries? Because I know someone who owns a blueberry farm, and he's a millionaire off of that blueberry farm alone. And they're worried about who's going to go out there and like handle picking them, because now is the time, but there's a lot going on right now. And so there is like a video of other people saying like, I'm not doing that. But like, they know they pay them under the table too, and they pay them good money to do that.
And a lot of times you're not going to do it for that low rate. You're not doing it for that low rate that other people would have did it for. And that's just like, again, I feel like I sound so ignorant to say, but it's really the harsh reality. You're not going to go out there and do it. They would do it for less and to supply for their whole entire families for a lifetime. You're not doing that. And it's just, maybe because I come from a place where it did not affect me as drastically. Maybe it affects other people drastically. It's not that serious. Okay, so to bring us to our questions, because we have more than one, our questions of the day: who's hiring? And how much do you pay? And are you remote? Thank you.
My question of the day. Hold on, let me get it out. I don't have my notes.
Do you want me to read it?
I'm gonna read it.
I haven't had caffeine in like 3 days.
And you're drinking it in the morning?
At 5 p.m.
I'm drinking a sweet tea. I don't know what you got going on.
Crack. You can see it in my eyes. Like, you can literally see, you can see it. I'm like,
crack. Is crack what you smoke? Okay. So my question of the day is, do you feel like you have to be a part of grind culture, or do you feel like you have to have a side hustle to live the life that you want to live? Or should you just adjust your lifestyle to match your pay? My answer to this is kind of yes and no. Like I said earlier, I feel like I have to have a second job to attain the goals that I want, but I don't feel like I necessarily need a second job to maintain the lifestyle that I have. But that's not to say that like you should always have to match your lifestyle to your pay. Like, there's things that I splurge on that maybe I shouldn't, but like, I only have this one life to live and I want to make the most of it.
I feel like it just depends. I think it can vary from person to person. I think if you're exceeding your rates to live a life that you know you cannot accommodate with that, you might gotta adjust your life a little bit. Even if it's temporarily, like, this is not always a forever thing. Like, maybe you need to save a little bit and come back and revisit. But again, as we've said probably a good amount of times in this, these jobs are not paying people, which is unfortunate. And if you have a good paying job, let alone a job, if you have a good paying job, keep it. It's just, It's hard because we do have this one life. We all know somebody who did not make it to the age we currently are. So it is a blessing to be the age that you are. Never let somebody make you feel, especially now. I don't know where this came from, but like once you hit 30, your life is over. No, you're still very young.
Your life is just beginning.
Like you're
From
still
what I
very
hear, 30
young.
is great.
Or like if you're old, I'm 26 now. I look the best I've ever looked in my life. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. So I couldn't imagine like be 21 being my peak of life.
I'll say this, I will be 25 in a couple of months, and I just feel like I'm only getting hotter, and my life is only getting better.
Like my goal every day is to wake up and be sexier.
Literally, and I feel like, yeah, my life may not be everything that I thought it would be at 25, but it's just so great to me. Like, I really wouldn't trade it for the world.
We have a bit of dark humor here, but if you were to ask me and Bria at 18, would we even be here right now? Like, that's a completely different question. So it's just really enjoy where you're at in life. So to bring it back,
yeah,
yes, we have this one life. Yeah.
Well,
no, you were going to be the yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, to bring it back to what we were talking about, we do have this one life. We do want to live our lives. We do want to enjoy our lives because you're only going to be this age once. She's only going to be 25 once. I'm only going to be 26 once. We're only going to be these ages once. So yes, live, but don't exceed your means. But I mean, that could vary from person to person. I know people with $0 in savings and check-ins, but they're still traveling and having fun. If that's what you can do and you're comfortable and your anxiety allows it, hey, my anxiety would not let me leave the house.
You know what? It be the people. I have tweezers in my hand. It be the people with no jobs that be having the best time.
They do. They have fun. Like, kind of take notes from them.
Where is the
fun,
money coming from?
It also depends on like what type of like circumstances you have. There are people whose families will support and back them up and help them. Not everybody has that, and that's okay. Do what you can for your circumstances.
I'm talking about the people who they be on social media talking about they hate their family doesn't help them do anything, but they stay at the beach, they stay out of the country, or at least out of the state, and I'd be like, you don't work though. Like, what are you doing?
You don't know. I think it's another point to make. We have I don't know if you guys seen the post, but we really are exposed to way too many people's thoughts. We should not see this many people's lives at once. We really shouldn't. So it's easy for us to compare. You do not know where these people are getting this money from. You don't know what these people had to do for this lifestyle. You might be like, oh, well, I'm this age and I'm underaccomplished. You do not know what this person's life is like. You only know what they show you. If you went off based on what I posted on the internet, you would have never thought I tried to kill myself before, right? That's just reality. You would never have guessed that. Literally, but you just don't know. It's a highlight reel.
I remember, and I ended up deleting it, but for one of my birthdays, I had posted about just like things that I was going through, and well, not like in depth, but just like things that happened to me that I never thought I would make it to see this age because of. And everyone was like, oh, I would have never known. Like, you just are always smiling and you're so happy. Like, I say that to say, when it comes to these people who are having the time of their lives and they're going places, they might have a sugar daddy and they gotta actually give them sugar.
You don't know, like, so just worry about you. Just worry about you. And it's hard. It's really easy to compare, but choose the harder option. Always choose the harder option when it comes to things like that, because we don't know. I'm sorry, my manager is texting me. We don't know.
I think that's where the saying of, like, you can't compete where you don't compare comes into, like, don't compare these people to you when, like, you truly don't know what they're doing. Like, I can say, like, I'm so jealous of people who get to sit around all day and not do anything and, like, really live their life to the fullest, but, like, I don't know what they have to do to get there. I know I work, and I make my own money, so I can do what I want to do.
It would be remiss of me to sit here and be like, I wish my life wasn't the way it was, because I'm glad I went through a lot of the things I went through. I'm glad that I was traumatized in the ways that I was, because it really helps me build character. I am who I am because of the things that I've been through. So if I had to have an easier life and not be who I was, I wouldn't want that. So it's just be happy that you can be you. If you want to travel, you want to do these things, make it work for you. So whether you got to plan in advance or you can do it on the whim, do those things. Whether you got to buy stuff now, after pay a Klarnet, do what works for you and your happiness. That's all. We only get this life. So yes, work. Yes, pay your bills. Spend time with your friends. Spend time with your family. Spend time with loved ones. But just focus on you.
Literally, you are in control of your whole life. There are things that are going to happen that might not be within your control, but 9 times out of 10, you're so in control of your life and you're so in control of what happens to it. You are not your circumstances, so just make the most out of your life.
Beautiful, honestly.
I'm
on the brink of tears. I'm on the brink of tears. Oh, my God. Any closing thoughts? I'm hungry too. I'm gonna make butter chicken tonight. Any closing thoughts?
In closing, whether you are working, not working, may you be safe out there, because it's hard.
Okay, be easy, man.
Be easy, take it easy. Don't take life so seriously. You only have one life. Live it to your fullest. Do what you gotta do to get your money. Yeah. Going forward, the podcast schedule will be that we'll be uploading every other week. In the spirit of grind culture and working, we both have full-time jobs, so doing this every week is just a tad bit pressing. So
also, Bree, shout out to Bree, pat on the back to Bree. Bree does a lot of the, not even a lot, Bree does all the editing and everything, so it is a lot on her. So pat her on the back. Thank you. All of our platforms will be linked.
Most definitely. Follow Barely Making It on everything, and I will link our socials below if you're interested in our lives as well.